Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the hearing to order and acknowledge that we're in Treaty 1 territory, the home and its traditional lands of the Ojibwe, the Cree, Dakota people, and the national homelands of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Ron Merritt. I'll be your chairperson this morning. Introducing the panel members, Michelle Duncan and Mr. Ian Mahone. Our recording secretary, Jason Robertson, and representing the city from the assessment department is Nathan Kupfer. This morning we'll be hearing application for revision of the business assessment role in accordance with the Winnipeg charter. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application and will limit discussions to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anybody speaking in these matters must be sworn in. Please be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The board is appointed annually by City Council and is independent of it, along with the city administration. We make our decisions based on the evidence provided at this hearing and issue a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board decision in respect to application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to court at King's Bench if the matter pertains to application of exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included in the board's order. In respect to the hearing this morning, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We'll then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then it'll be the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each party will have the opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all applications has been brought forward, we will the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket this morning. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live stream recorded and will be part of the public record. This morning we'll be hearing items 1 through 8. So Mr. Robertson, can you swear in the assessor and probably affirm the applicant's testimony?
Absolutely. Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Nathan Kupfer.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Neufeld, please state your full name.
Ayrton Neufeld.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
All right, I think everybody's aware of the procedure, and Mr. Neufeld, you are no stranger here, so we will first deal with the first property, which is 1450 McPhillips Street. So Mr. Kupfer, whenever you're ready, you can take us through this property.
This is file number 22-4572. Business assessment ID 50300. Street address is 1450 McPhillips Street. This is an owner-occupied access credit union that also has a medical clinic in it. The business assessment showing here as the premise area of 4,134 square feet. With the base ARV per square foot of $22.89. This matches up with what we have modeled for the realty role. Our occupancy costs, again, everything is standard per our model here. It adds up to a total of $2.50 being applied per square foot for occupancy. This is an owner-occupied property. As I stated, owner-occupied access credit union. We are recommending that the ARV be maintained for this property today at $104,940. Scrolling to the next page here, I've attached the Board of Revision order for our realty hearing. I was the assessor for this hearing. Obviously, Colliers was the appellant. As you can see, the decision that they came to was to reduce the assessment to $1,904,000. This decision is based on the net operating income presented by the Assessment and Taxation Department with a capitalization rate of 6.25%. I've attached the realty brief so you can see how that decision fits in with the information that we have here. Stream number 1 shows the bank credit union, 4,134 square feet, like I stated, at $22.89. Given that this was confirmed by the board, we're not seeking any change to it, higher or lower. We feel like this accurately represents the business assessment value. So I'm going to recommend that this value be maintained today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Newfield, questions of the assessor?
Yeah, I guess so. The comparables are the same as in the realty assessment brief.
Correct.
And I was just going through them. Are any of them credit unions?
I believe so, but I haven't marked which ones are which, so I can't give you that answer.
Okay. The ones I said were all, I only saw RBCs and TDs, but so what is the reason for a separate puck for banks from the assessment department? Parcel use code.
It's to assess them as accurately as possible.
Would they not just fall under regular retail or office?
No.
And why is that?
Because they're not regular retail or office.
Would there be a difference between a regular bank and a credit union?
No, these are coded the same.
Would the market see them differently?
Not to my knowledge.
Those are my questions. Thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Duncan, questions of the assessor?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mahone?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Newfield, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Just quickly, we've our difference of opinion is generally that between banks and credit unions. Also, it's common for banks to have a lot of TIs buried into their leases. You can see in the assessor's comparables, there's a large array. It goes high as 30, as low as 18. I would suggest that the higher ones do have TIs. It's hard to say without viewing the leases. Of them all, I've reviewed them all. The only comp 8 was a credit union. That one's under a 1-year lease. I thought that one was owner occupied as well. I can't say for sure though, but I thought it was, but I don't have that information with me. Banks and credit unions are treated very different. Banks are generally rented by AAA investment properties, where credit unions are owner occupied. A lot of consolidation across the credit union market lately in order to be competitive with these other banks. The department has a separate code for banks, but in reality, they should have a separate code for credit unions as well, because they do not really treat the same, or they're not really treated the same in the market. Our difference is minimal here. We are applying $21 as opposed to $22.89, and I do believe every realty assessment today is under appeal at the municipal board, or yeah, every appeal we're hearing today is under appeal at the municipal board for realty. Yeah, that's all I really have today. Keep it short. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Newfield. Mr. Kupfer, questions of the applicant?
Just a clarification. Did you say that you've appealed every single property on this docket to the municipal board?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I thought that's what I was told, and I saw most of them. I think all 8. Yeah.
Okay. Am I correct? Your occupancy costs your total $2.46. Do you know why that's slightly off from ours, or where those numbers are derived from?
A second. So there, I guess there's I'm guessing we are using a lot last year's electricity by mistake. So there's a 4 cents difference in electricity. So I suppose we would be in agreement with the assessors $1.30. I think these numbers are kind of, we've never really seen the data for them. We've never really challenged it though, but 4 cents makes a difference of a few $100s there. Yeah, I'm just guessing that's probably an oversight.
Okay, that's all my questions. Thank you.
I thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Just for the bank rents, there's you got it in your briefing as bank rents, and there's just 2 credit unions are referenced in there. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's with our rents generally, it's we've found ones that are free and clear of TIs. I think the major difference between them in the marketplace is almost all credit unions are owner occupied. There's a few. CWB is downtown, so that's a different building. Then the 2 in Kildare are in a mall. So the generally what you see is the main banks will have rented properties in newer retail. They're always up to date. Generally, they have huge TIs in them. I think it's common too that they're also financing them, but credit unions are commonly owner occupied. So there aren't as many rents available for them.
Thank you. No other questions.
I thank you. Mr. Mahone?
Yeah, the only question I have is for clarification of the square footage. You have a slightly different square footage than the city. I think you're at 4,116, and the city's at 4,134. Where did you derive the 4,116 foot area?
Just give me a second. I'm sort of off the top of my head. Usually these change a bit between assessments. It's common just from different measurements. I'm guessing it's an old assessment. I'm just trying to check if it matches up with the realty. I can check my files here. It's a small difference, and I'm not exactly sure usually why that would be. 1 second.
Okay, I don't know that it's a material amount, but if the discrepancy expands, it could be material. So I'm just wondering.
Of course, yeah. No, I'm just looking at it. We've presented that same number in realty. We had a lot of our information was provided by a database. It's as old as 2000 now, but it was a database provided by the assessment department. I'm just guessing that it was from there, and maybe there was a remeasurement in that time. I don't have a problem with using the assessor's higher number if that's a sticking point.
Thank you. Just for clarification, that was my only question.
Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Newfield, all these credit unions, do you think there's a difference between a credit union and a bank?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a difference between this and an office. The bank has some sort of strange concept and assessment where they treat it differently than the rest of all the commercial properties. What we're really looking at is if this were to sell, what would it sell for? And it would sell as likely an office, a medical office, or that kind of thing. If we are looking at different pucks between a credit union and a bank, then absolutely. Banks are strong. They have a lot of capital. When they go into a new mall, they're generally financing that mall. So they don't even really care about their lease. They love having high leases because it makes the mall worth more. Credit unions are owner occupied, and they struggle to compete with these banks. Access Credit Union just recently acquired 2 other credit unions, I believe Belgian or I forget the name. Well, a lot of them outside of the city, but there was one inside the city where they're amalgamating in order to compete with the rest of the banks. And I absolutely, if we're treating banks differently than the rest of real estate, then absolutely credit unions and banks are different.
So, Mr. Newfield, when, as you say, all these credit unions, or whether they be banks, are privately owned, right? So how do you extract what the market value of, if you won't get any information from them. It's almost like a book rent or a book rate per square foot. So how do you extract what the market is, worth per square foot?
Well, I think the most important thing is to find rents that are free and clear of TIs. Often with banks, they will have TIs. They pay for everything in there, things that don't have any real estate value. It's value to the tenant, and they pay essentially a separate, they amalgamate loans for chattel inside the property into the rent. When a credit union, you're right, most of these will be book rents. They're owner occupied. It's just like any other owner occupied property that you could see across the city. It's like an owner occupied office, an owner occupied shop. It can be it's about an average quality in office, usually a bit higher quality than a lot of retail we see. I think we just looked mostly to the market, and when we do is we find rents that are free and clear of TI.
You had mentioned that you're taking all of these properties to the municipal board?
Yes.
Now, is this for realty or is this for
realty? Sorry, yeah, this would be
realty?
We wouldn't have that opportunity for business yet, or if we do, we may or may not. I'm not.
All right.
Yeah.
Summation, either party?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. I think I said all I need to say.
All right. Let's go to the next one, which is 803 Leela Avenue. Mr. Kupfer, whenever you're ready.
File number 22-4689, business assessment ID 40120. This is a very similar property to the last one we discussed. It's an owner-occupied access credit union where they rent out a small portion of it. In this case, it's to Brio Insurance. That being said, we're just dealing with the bank space here. Premise area is 4,113 square feet. Base ARV per square foot of $25.93, which is, like I said, consistent with our realty value. I'm recommending that the ARV be maintained for this property at $116,940. Similar to the last property, I've attached the realty decision here for you, showing the reduction here down to $2,062,000 based on the net operating income, again presented by the Assessment and Taxation Department with a capitalization rate of 6.5%. Again, owner occupied, so we only have rents for Brio Insurance there. They're renting for $18 a foot, but that's not the space that we're dealing with now, so it's not particularly comparable. The bank we have at $25.93, and like I said, that was confirmed by the board. So we are going to recommend that the ARV be maintained. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Newfield, questions?
No, thank you.
I thank you. Ms. Duncan?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Brohon?
I have no questions, thank you.
Mr. Newfield, your presentation?
Thank you. I'd assume most everything will apply to all the properties that I'd said in the last one. If that's a problem, I can go over it. I'm sure you don't want me to.
That's fine.
Thank you. So the only difference here being it's a newer property with a drive-through, so we did use the higher rent. The Brio Insurance in the building does rent for 18. It's a bit smaller. It's an office. We just went to our higher band grant for this one. All I will say to add is just that, I mean, we have the assessors comparables do line up with a lot of what we're saying today too. They have some as low as $18 and $19. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
I thank you. Mr. Kupfer, questions?
I want to just touch on your office rent comparable table here. Do you have roughly, just because you've stated that these are comparable to office and retail type properties, can you tell me roughly what your average difference here between the office rent comparables and your bank and credit union rent comparables?
I mean, the office has a large range. This is, I guess, we're looking at 1450 McPhillips, 1866. That lines up quite well, about $1 with the last property that's in the same mall as a doctor. The rest of these, there's a lot of like exchange rents here, so they wouldn't really be applicable to a property like this. Office towers, neither. Again, I think looking at my office, I got 1450 McPhillips. This is our last property. 803 Leela, which is coming, and then 2526 Main, which is next door. That one's considerably smaller or not considerably. It's smaller. It's not quite as. This property, like the bank has an entrance, whereas the insurance is you have to go through the bank to get to the insurance broker. So it would rent a little lower than the bank that has its own opening and entrances and exits.
That's my only question. Thank you.
I thank you. Ms. Duncan?
No question. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mahone?
Similar question about the square footage. This time, your square footage is about 10% higher than the city's. Is this as a result of an inspection, or is this as a result?
Yes, this was inspected. Maybe we didn't update. Just 1 second. Sorry. I inspected this with Jennifer Martins, and we corrected it. So because, yeah, that's what it. I would imagine the city's correct here. I'm not sure why we would have an older square footage, but sorry there. Yeah, no, it was inspected, and it was no, this is, I think this wasn't, oh, I see, we're 15 square, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's likely just the smaller. We were using a higher area pre-inspection, and this was inspected and fixed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I had.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's most unusual that you'd have a discrepancy in regards to the square footage like that. So, so Mr.
Not really.
Where did you get your figure from?
I think my figure would likely be the old assessment. That was what it was when we went down and had the city. I think we're just using older briefs. This was inspected for case management with the Realty Municipal Board. It would have likely been updated by the city and not by us.
So which one is correct?
I would say the cities. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The cities. It was measured by Jennifer Martins.
Either party wants submission?
No, thank you.
No, thanks.
Okay, let's press on to 1200 Henderson Highway. Mr. Kupfer.
It's file number 22-4747, business assessment ID 1715. This is again an owner-occupied access credit union. The total ARV of 130,680 that we're recommending be maintained. The premise is split here between the main floor and the basement. So you can see the main floor is being modeled at $23.62. In the basement, we have classified as substandard basement area, so that's why it's getting the $4.40 rate. Scrolling down, you can see the Board of Revision Realty order. You can see that both the NOI and the cap rate were maintained and no reduction. was awarded in this instance. And I've attached the realty document evidence for you. Just for reference, so I'm going to recommend today that the ARV of 130,680 be confirmed. Thank you.
I thank you. Mr. Newfield, questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Duncan?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mahone?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Newfield, your presentation?
I will just say that everything from the last presentations will apply forward. There's not much difference between any of these. This one has a basement. We're about 40 cents off on that one. And that's it. Thank you.
I thank you. Either party wants summation?
No, thanks.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Let's go on to 2526 Main Street. Mr. Kupfer, whenever you're ready.
This is file number 22-4692, business assessment ID 41348, street address 2526 Main Street. We have an ARV, modeled ARV here of 155,700. That is based on a premise area, 5,500 square feet, and a rate per square foot of $25.81. I've attached the realty decision for you. It's consistent with our other properties here today, stating that our NOI presented by the Assessment and Taxation Department to be confirmed and to bump the capitalization rate to 6.5%. So based on all of that, I am recommending that the ARV be maintained. Thank you.
I thank you. Mr. Newfield, questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Duncan?
No questions, thank you.
You. Mr. Mahone?
None. No questions. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Newfield, your presentation?
Just the same logic applied from the last one. Again, I no need to add anything. Thank you.
Mr. Kupfer, any questions?
No questions. Thanks.
Panel members, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Okay. I don't think we're gonna ask for any more summations, so we'll press on to 515 St. Anne's Road. Mr. Kupfer?
This is file number 22-4744, business assessment ID 33794. Street address is 515 St. Anne's Road. The owners again are Access Credit Union. In this case, we are recommending that the ARV be reduced to 103,560. This property is split into two premises, 3,000 square feet on the main floor, 2,700 square feet in the basement, similar to another property we've dealt with, $28.12 being applied to the main floor and $3.79 to the basement. I've attached the realty order here, showing the reduction to $1,292,000 based on an adjusted net operating income and a capitalization rate of 6.5%. So I had to do some reverse math here. I've included the valuation summary and workup. If you continue scrolling down, showing that 2023 border revision decision. The blended rate I calculated based on that 6.5% capitalization rate should come out to about $15.67. And the net operating income should be about $84,000, and that gives us that decision of $1,292,000. And just below that, I've included the business assessment summary as well, in case you'd like to check my work. It's all there. And I am again recommending that the ARV be reduced to 103,560. Thank you.
Mr. Newfield, are you in agreement?
No, this one we're not. We're
All right. Ms. Duncan, questions?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mahone?
And I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Newfield, your presentation?
I just a quick question is all. I'm just wondering what the reason for that with this one is. It, I guess 27, but model 28 when we were seeing 22s and 23s across a lot of the other ones.
Or is that a question for me?
Yes, please.
Why is the model calculating a higher?
Yeah, well, this one seems to just be a bit higher than the others. Is there a reason for that?
I would posit that it's likely to do with the fact that it's located on St. Anne's Road and it's a 2005 build. I think some of the other banks we've been discussing were more like 1980s, 1990s type builds. Perhaps that's contributing to the model assigning a higher rate.
Great, thank you. I have no further presentation to add.
I just forget where we are here. Mr. Newfield, are you finished with your presentation, or are we there yet?
Yeah, that's, I guess, yes. Thank you.
We're into questions.
No questions for me. Thank you.
All right. Panel members, any questions?
No question, thank you.
All right. I think. Let's press on to the next one, which is 1033 St. Mary's Road. Mr. Kupfer, whenever you're ready.
This is file number 22-4723. Excuse me. Business assessment ID 52191. Street address is 1033 St. Mary's Road. We have a total annual rental value of $85,920 that we're recommending be maintained. This property is an owner-occupied Sunova / Access Credit Union. I think the agent made mention of some mergers and whatnot that were going on earlier. I'm assuming that's what's happened there. Like some of the other banks we've discussed, it's split into two areas. We have the main floor at $27.58, and then it looks like we've got basement space here at $5.42, giving us our total ARV. I've attached the border revision order again here, just showing that the assessment's being maintained based on the evidence presented by the Assessment and Taxation Department. So I am, like the other properties today, recommending that our ARV be maintained. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Newfield, questions?
Thank you.
Ms. Duncan?
No questions, thank you.
You, Mr. Mahone?
And for me, thank you.
Mr. Newfield, your presentation?
Nothing to add, just the same logic about with the first property. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Mr. Kupfer, questions?
Just wanted to double check quick. Is it, did you apply $20 or $21 a foot for all of the banks today, or Mr. Newfield?
Yeah, between the two. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
I thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Or sorry, forgive me. Can I correct that?
Yep.
Yeah, we did apply 24 to the newer 20 Main Street space with the drive-through and the art design it sort of has there. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Duncan?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mahone?
And none for me, thanks.
Okay. Go on to 1250 Portage Avenue. The Kupfer?
This is file number 22-4750. Business assessment ID 25411, street address 1250 Portage Avenue. This is another Access Credit Union Limited. We have a modeled ARV of 81,780 that I'm recommending be reduced to 76,500 today. The values presented here are the modeled workup, so $23.67 for the main floor and $4.44 for the basement, giving you that total modeled value of 81,780. Page 2 of my brief, again, has the realty decision. Reduction down to 900 and that's 30,000. And this is based on, again, an adjusted net operating income of 60,830 and a capitalization rate of 6.5%. So similar to the other property in which I recommended a reduction, I have included all of the workups for you, showing you how those calculations would play out, as well as the business assessment recalculation, showing the premise full year ARV of 76,500, which I am recommending the ARV be reduced to for this property. Thank you.
I thank you. Mr. Neufeld, are you in agreement?
Yes, actually, this one, it lines quite well with the non-appealed 20 version. So this was 2020 was done, I believe, through case management. So it's been ironed out as hard as possible. This is only $1,000 higher. So we are in agreement with the recommendation for that reason.
Duncan, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Brown?
And I don't have any questions, thanks.
Mr. Kupfer, what is the, I don't have it in front of me, but what was the base on that for the rec dollar wise? Mr. Kupfer?
Doing that calculation for you, I've got $16.29 approximately, whereas currently we're at $17.41.
On Portage Avenue?
That's right. It's because it's including the basement space as well, so it's weighing down that average, right?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Okay, we'll go to the last one, which is 3161 Portage Avenue. Mr. Kupfer, whenever you're ready.
That is file number 22-4754, business assessment ID 25697, street address 3161 Portage Avenue. This is another Access Credit Union Limited. We have a modeled ARV of 147,720 based on a total premise area of 5,200 square feet and a modeled ARV of $25.91. I'm recommending that ARV be reduced to 121,380. That's 121,380. Again, I've included the border revision order. I'm showing the reduction for this property down to 2,150,000. If I'm remembering correctly, it's a two-story bank, so I think that's where a lot of the reduction came in. They reduced our square footage for upstairs. So the board's conclusion is just based on the overall evidence presented. So it's not the easiest one to interpret. I used a 6.5% capitalization rate in my workup here, which I think is consistent with the other decisions we got from the Board of Revision. That worked out to a rate of $20.84 blended between that first floor and second floor space. So obviously the main floor, it was argued, would rent for more. Second floor, it was argued would rent for less. This is where it would average out. And that gets us to our Board of Revision decision of $2,150,000. Again, I've attached the BA workup to accompany that using $20.84 as an average. And that's what gives us our full year premise ARV of 121,380 that I'm recommending today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Neufeld, are you in agreement? Mr. Neufeld?
Sorry, I was muted. I had a lot of smart things to say though too. I don't know if I can repeat that.
Are you in agreement?
Yes. We were a bit different on the upper floor, but this was lined quite up nicely with what we were looking for, the average of 2084. And we and I did misspeak earlier. This one I don't believe is under appeal at the municipal board.
All right. Mr. Newfield, we thank you for your presentations. Thank you for your acceptance, and you're done today. So thank you kindly, and results very shortly. Mr. Kupfer, thank you very kindly for everything. And we have heard all the scheduled items, and this hearing is now adjourned. So
Thank you.
and have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.